Listen, I need you to understand something right now. Baseball just showed us why it's still America's pastime, and if you missed what happened, you weren't paying attention. The Dodgers just went back to back, and honestly, I don't think people realize what we just witnessed. You want to talk about pressure? You want to talk about delivering when it matters most? Game 7, extra innings, everything on the line. Will Smith steps up and becomes the first player in baseball history to hit a home run in extra innings of a winner-take-all World Series game. Not the first this decade, not the first in recent memory, the first ever. That's the kind of moment that defines careers, that defines franchises, that makes you remember exactly where you were when it happened. But let's back up because this entire series was something special. Toronto came to play, make no mistake about it, they weren't just happy to be there. Guerrero, Springer, Bichette, these guys were hungry. They pushed the Dodgers to the absolute limit. When the Dodgers went down 3-2, losing both games 4 and 5 in Los Angeles, everyone started writing them off. They had to go to Canada, hostile territory, facing elimination. That's when champions are made. And can we talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto for a second? Actually, we need to talk about him for more than a second, because what this man did might be the most incredible pitching performance we've ever seen in a World Series. Game 2, he shut them down. Game 5, he came back and shut them down again. Then Game 6, throwing on a practically dead arm, 96 pitches, and he still dominated. Then what does he do? He comes back in Game 7 and throws 3 more innings. Do the math with me here. 130 pitches across the final 2 games of the World Series. When's the last time you saw that? When's the next time you're going to see it? This might be once in a lifetime. You know what makes Yamamoto special? It's not just the stuff, though the stuff is elite. A 72-mile-per-hour curveball paired with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and he can paint both sides of the plate with surgical precision. But it's the mentality. The guy wants the ball in the biggest moments. He's not looking to pass responsibility. He's demanding it. That's the difference between good pitchers and great ones. Great ones want the pressure. They want to be the reason their team wins or loses because they trust themselves more than anyone else. Here's what really impressed me about this series, though. We talk about baseball being a game of inches, and Toronto almost pulled off one of the biggest upsets in World Series history. They were this close to taking down a rotation that featured Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, and Tyler Glasnow. Think about that for a second. That might be the most talented postseason rotation ever assembled, and the Blue Jays had them on the ropes. Addison Barger hit 480 in the World Series. 480! Ernie Clement had 30 hits this postseason, the most in a single postseason ever. These young guys showed up and played with heart. That's what made this series so captivating. It wasn't just about the Dodgers' star power and their massive payroll. It was about Toronto refusing to quit, fighting through injuries, with guys like Springer literally being pieced together before every game. The grit, the determination, the refusal to accept defeat until that final out. That's baseball at its finest. Dave Roberts deserves enormous credit here, too. The man now has 7 wins in winner-take-all postseason games, the most by any manager in history. He made the right pitching changes, adjusted the lineup when needed, and kept his team believing even when they were down. That's championship management right there. He felt the pulse of his team, knew they were on life support, and found a way to revive them. And let's talk about the bigger picture for a moment. Commissioner Rob Manfred and these rule changes since 2022 and 2023, the pitch clock, the shift restrictions, all of it has brought athleticism back to baseball. The game is faster, more exciting, more dynamic. What we saw in this World Series is proof that baseball is in the best place it's been in years, maybe decades. The sport needed this. The Dodgers are now the first team to win back-to-back championships since the Yankees three-peated from 1998 to 2000. That's over 2 decades of teams trying and failing to repeat. It's incredibly difficult. The Dodgers spent the money, yes, but they also built a culture of winning. They showed up like champions. Because here's the reality. You can spend all the money in the world and still come up short. Yankees fans know this. Mets fans definitely know this. Money doesn't automatically equal championships. The Dodgers found the formula that works. The Dodgers were 2-65 all-time in World Series games when trailing after 8 innings. One more stat that'll blow your mind. Now they're 3-65. They found a way to win when historically they almost never do. That's what separates dynasty teams from everyone else. They win the games they're supposed to lose. The road team has now won the last 5 World Series Game 7s. Home field advantage means nothing when you get to Game 7. It's purely about who wants it more, who executes better, who stays composed under the ultimate pressure. The Dodgers prove they're built different.
This is just the beginning of something special in Los Angeles. We might be watching the start of a dynasty, and baseball needed this kind of excellence at the top. Major League Baseball, take a bow. You got this one right. Now don't mess it up with labor disputes or work stoppages. Capitalize on this momentum. The sport is thriving. Ratings are up. Excitement is back. Build on this.
The future of baseball looks bright, and the Dodgers just showed everyone exactly what championship baseball looks like.